Hello guys, and welcome to another version of this tutorial where we are going to look at the recommendation on how the environmental legal framework in Nigeria can be strengthened. How can we strengthen our legal framework in Nigeria? So firstly, what is the meaning of environmental legal framework? The environmental legal framework refers to all laws, regulation, policies, institution and enforcement mechanism put in place to protect the environment from pollution, degradation and misuse. In Nigeria, these laws are meant to regulate human activities such as industrial operation, mining, oil exploration, waste disposal, and urban development. So, environmental legal framework, they are those laws, regulation, policies, institution, and legal enforcement mechanism. That's enforcement ways that are used or put in place to protect the environment from pollution, degradation, misuse, etc. Although Nigeria has several environmental laws and agencies, environmental problems such as pollution, deforestation, oil, fossil, and waste management continue to exist. This shows that legal framework need to be strengthened. So how can we strengthen our legal framework? Ways to strengthen Nigerian environmental legal framework. One, the effective enforcement of environmental laws. If we effectively enforce the environmental laws, then there will be a little change. One of the major weaknesses of environmental protection in Nigeria is poor enforcement. Many environmental laws exist, but they are not properly enforced. For example, cutting down of trees is an offense, but normally it only apply in the urban areas. In villages, if you cut down trees, nothing they solve. Do you understand? So Effect, effective enforcement of environmental laws is very important in strengthening our legal framework. To strengthen enforcement, regulatory agencies should be given real authority to act. Industry should be closely monitored. Environmental offenders should be prosecuted without favoritism or corruption. So, we should avoid we should make sure that the regulatory agencies are given real authority to act. They are given chance to act. Do you understand? And we'll make sure industries should be closely monitored. Industries that are operating should be monitored closely. And the offenders of environmental pollution protection should be prosecuted, notwithstanding that we know them or any doing of corruption. When laws are consistently enforced, companies and individuals are more likely to comply and environmental abuse will reduce. This is one. Review and update of existing environmental law. Some environmental laws in Nigeria are outdated and do not reflect modern environmental challenges such as climate changes, emerging industrial hazard, and new technologies. The legal framework can be strengthened by regularly reviewing existing Nigerian environmental laws, updating penalties and reflecting present economic realities, aligning Nigerian laws with international environmental standards. Updating laws makes environmental regulation more effective and relevant. So this is how we can strengthen our environmental laws. Then the next thing is stronger penalty and sanction. Our penalty are weak, so we need a stronger penalty and sanction. Weak penalty encourages environmental violence. When fines are too small, companies may find it cheaper to pollute and pay fine than comply with the law. So they will find it cheaper to pollute and pay fine than complying with what the law said they should do in disposing their waste. So they just see it as let them just pollute the environment, and when they are fined, so there should be stronger penalties and big sanctions when you dump or when you pollute the environment. To strengthen the legal framework, fines should be increased to discourage pollution. Yes, serious environmental offenders should attract criminal liability. So if you offend the environment in a heavy way, that should be a criminal responsibility. Polluters should be made to pay for environmental damages causes. So if you pollute the environment, you should be made to pay for causes you do to that environment. Then stronger sanctions act as a deterrence and promote environmental responsibility. Strengthen environmental institution and agency. When we strengthen our institution, we give them power and rights to act, they will do it. Environmental agencies in Nigeria often suffer from inadequate funding, poor staffing, and lack of modern equipment. Strengthening institutions require adequate funding of environmental agency, proper training of environmental officers, provision of modern monitoring and enforcement tools. Strong institutions are essential for effective environmental protection, then judicial support and specialized environmental courts. So there should be a court that specializes on environmental issues. The judiciary play a key role in enforcing environmental laws. However, delay in the court process and lack of environmental laws expertise can weaken enforcement. The framework can be strengthened by establishing specialized environmental courts or tribunal. There should be courts that only specialize in environmental pollution. Then training judges and environmental laws on in environmental law, speeding up trial of environmental cases. Then public participation and access to justice. Environmental protection becomes stronger when citizens are actively involved. This can be achieved allowing individuals to communicate to bring environmental action to court. They should do that by themselves. Protecting whistleblowers who expose environmental violence. So as a whistleblower, you expose that's Engulma when you're appointing a company. Doing that, you should be protected. Encouraging community monitoring the environmental activity. Environmental education and public awareness. So people should be educated on what is the dangerousness of polluting the environment. Laws alone cannot protect the environment if people do not understand them. Strengthening the legal framework require environmental education in school, public awareness campaign, community-based environmental programs. So this is all about how we can ways or recommendations we can strengthen our legal framework. Follow us in the next part where we are going to explain more about the A.O.C he gave. Thank you and see you in the next part. Please don't forget to smash off the subscription button, and if you like this video, God is going to bless you.